Alright everybody, welcome to HGR on a Thursday night. My name is Garrett Jenkins with the Ring Get It Racing Network. Bringing you coverage of High Gear Racing Series. They're just wrapping up practice here with about just under 5 minutes to go. Right now, Jason Branch leads practice here. Carl Engel separate, Jessica Childs third, Steve Sizemore, Aubrey Thompson round out top 5. Over under practice here and get practice out of the way. Good Lord. Of course, those of you that missed last night's race, you missed a good one. Jeff Murray just does miss out on getting a win by a 25 hundredths of a second over Joshua McCullough. Right now, Keith McCullough showing to be in the session, ready to go. Going to try to be a McCullough win for the second night in a row here on the High Gear Racing Series. We got a long way to go. That's going to be the case. A stacked field tonight. Aubrey Thompson right now in 5th. Of course, Sizemore here's. There's several drivers in contention tonight. There's always several drivers in contention tonight, but if you're a McCullough, you're pretty much got a target on your back. McKenna has won a handful of races here. Joshua just now winning his first in HGR. Don't know what Matthew padding hard into the wall. Well, one man trying to turn his luck around to 25. Michael Wingo finally involved in every wreck that there was last night in the first HGR event. Really just trying to, well, if he can keep the car clean tonight, hey, massive props. That's about it. Right now, just over a minute remaining. Then I'm going to have 5 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. 5 minutes to post 1 lap. We're doing 1 lap qualifying tonight. 5 minutes, your best lap. Seat you on the grid wherever that 1 lap puts you. I think of Steve Sizemore, post drivers that sit on the pole. Sizemore right now in the 6th position, but I think of a fast qualifier, and that's who I really think about. Steve Sizemore, of course, rolled off, I believe it was 3rd or 4th last night, unfortunately. Not the run that the driver to 8 was looking for. Alright. Tune back in now, see who's the first one to roll off to post a lap. Rhett Tucker, the first one to lead the racetrack. 98 Michael Barksdale right after him. Jason Branch, Jessica Childs, Kenneth McCullough. Jeff Murray also rolling out. Carl Lingle. Third to Brody Landry as well. The 8 drivers are already looking to kick off a qualifying lap. It's going to start with Rhett Tucker in a number 99 machine. So we can't catch him here down the back straightaway into the speed trap. See about how fast the 99 is going down the back straightaway. It's slowly creeping up there. 177 so far, the highest is 78. And right now he is the fastest out of the current drivers. So Rhett Tucker on track to setting a monster lap off of turn 4. Gonna cut the trail just a little bit, trying to shave off a couple of hundredths, maybe a tenth at the line. Tucker's first lap, his own lap of 54.127. Barksdale at the line. He's got it. Kenneth McCullough's lap. Enough for second. Aubrey Thompson yet to start his, I believe. Right now, Michael Barksdale on pole with a 54.081. Thompson on track. I ain't heard nothing out of Aubrey Thompson. Steve Sizemore slides into second with a 54.087. We're down the back straightaway. Said ain't seen Thompson in a while. It was always great seeing number 38 WeatherTech Chevrolet back out onto the racetrack. Right now he's staying consistent with the majority of the front runners. 27.1. That's about the fastest that we've seen from the first half of this track. Aubrey Thompson isn't enough to knock on Michael Barksdale. 54.100 flat. All right, now last driver to be able to post a lap, because with only a half 30 seconds to go here in practice. Michael Wingo, the last car to attempt the pole at the line. Wingo's time will not. 54.324. That will be enough for 11th. That being said, Michael Barksdale on pole tonight for HGR on a Thursday night. Michael Barksdale, Garrett Jenkins up in a beat. Yeah, copy, buddy.
I do.
Well, buddy, engine department really earned their money this week. Fast, fast lap got you on pole. What's it going to take to stay there?
Probably a little luck as always, but starting to get better at this drafting technique and knowing who the partners are around me. So knowing who's around and who's paired up and staying with them or staying in front of them, of course.
Is there anybody you're willing to work with, or is there anybody
You
that you're
know,
not willing to work with?
no, I'll work with anybody. And something like this, I mean, sure everyone wants to win, but I want to finish. And so if I'm first, second, third, or fifth, let's just work and get there.
As long as you're in the money, that's all that matters. All right, Michael. Real fast, because I'm going to go ahead and drop you back down, but real fast, anybody you want to quickly shout out tonight, friends, family, sponsors, etc., the floor is yours.
I always want to shout out, thank you for broadcasting and just all the guys on High Gear Racing.
All right, buddy. Look forward to seeing how tonight goes out. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again when this day's over.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Michael Barksdale rolling off first here tonight. I got one saying Steve Sizemore's going to get over the bad luck spell tonight. Potentially Sizemore could be the winner tonight. Not a bad option. We're still going to run through the starting grid tonight. 42 laps coming up, and it's Michael Barksdale, Steve Sizemore, first and second, Keith McCullough Jr., Jeff Murray, third and fourth, Arby Tossin, Jason Branch, fifth and sixth, Rhett Tucker and Eric White, seventh and eighth, Carl Lingle, Jessica Childs, ninth and 10th, Michael Wingo, and Brody Landry rounds out the fast 12. On down through the field, Joey Masavage and John Ward, 13th and 14th. 15th, Nathan Raji and Joey Allen. 15th, 16th, Matthew Patton, William H. Scott Jr. 17th and 18th, and Mark Mondale rounds out a 19-car field tonight. Gonna be fun. Well, last night was a bit chaotic, just to say a bit. A couple of cautions here and there. Try 4 or 5 actually. But that was last night. That is tonight. Jeff Murray looking to go up one more spot, starting 4th tonight. All right, pace cars in. Barksdale, Sizemore, Brandon, Tiana, Reynolds, restart zone. 42 laps. Let's get it started. Down back straightaway, Sizemore, Barksdale, side by side. Really, no line, really showing the clear advantage right now. Sizemore out in front just a little bit. Here comes Barksdale back to the bottom. And it's been one of the better qualifying runs for Michael Barksdale in a long time. At least on here. With Sizemore not giving up the outside lane with Jeff Murray. McCullough pushing Barksdale at the line. Sizemore will lead the first lap tonight. 2x2 Sidemore trying to work middle and top. He will not be able to get there. As a matter of fact, he's going to get stuck in the middle in his own right. Murray now out front, down and back straightaway. Sizemore going back. Murray now immediately down to cover Sizemore, who will drop from the lead down to about the top 10. Lower half of the top 10. How to see exactly where he lines up. Kenneth McCullough Jr. now trying to put an outside lane. Well, Barstow not giving up the bottom right now. You can see it, and you know he's got Thompson right behind him at the line. McCullough will lead. Ken McCullough got a win last week in HGR. And really McCullough's game plan, just stay at the front, be at the front all the way through the race, and if it falls right, then McCullough's normally one that has a hand in how this race plays out. You see Murray now lost to Joshua McCullough last night, only at the last possible second. But Murray trying to gain one more spot, kind of rectify last night. You see Ward and the Savage trying to form up a third lane with Joseph Allen. Right now, of course, if you're just trying to get up to from the back to the front, get a little bit of track position, it's understandable. Right now, nobody's really worried about green flag pit stops at the moment. You see Jason Branch trying to get up in front of 60, not able to do it in that middle lane, getting pushed by Eric White, Steve Sizemore in that third, or in that second lane. Fourth car back, trying to work himself up back into a top 5 position. Sizemore bailed out right on the middle. He said, well, we ain't going nowhere, might as well just drop to the bottom here. Jason Branch at the line will not lead, give it to McCullough. As they're already 3 wide, possibly going 4 wide. Ward thinks better of it. It's already getting sketchy down the back straightaway. Track's very hot, it's very slick, 104-degree track temperature. Drivers are really dealing with the cars slipping and sliding around the older these tires get. Right now, McCullough leading the bottom with Barksdale, Thompson, and Sizemore. Jeff Murray's pulling. Well, it was Jeff Murray. Now McCullough pulls Murray, White. That 19 car, trying to tell me who that is at the moment. All right, there we got Wingo right behind him. Jason Branch throwing back up in that third lane with John Ward and Joey LaSavage. Michael Barksdale, who has not left the top 5 since we started this race, now still trying to lead that bottom lane, determined as ever. You see, bit of a wiggle out of the 03. And Murray's really pushing hard, trying to get McCullough back clear so he can pull that middle lane. Jason Branch covered the bottom, about gets turned when he goes back up to the third lane. Right now they're trying to flirt with 4 wide. They just ain't made up their mind yet if they want to. McCullough at the line. Will he lead this lap? He will. Well, many times Barksdale's been at the front leading a bottom lane. Barksdale yet to lead a lap officially tonight in that 98. And here they go down the back straightaway again, McCullough. Well, McCullough really knows how to work that middle lane. He knows what the middle lane's capable of. You see Murray down to the bottom, actually going to shuffle Gareth McCullough back to up to Steve Sizemore. You see Murray immediately back up now to 60. Trying to pull that middle lane back by Eric White. Brought T-Rex out last night. It was not the finish that he wanted. He brought out that same paint job tonight on the Xfinity car. And at the line will not lead a lap. Jeff Burke will lead his second. right now as they stand still 3 by 3, scattered throughout the pack. You see Michael Wingo just trying to recover from last night, just trying not to get involved in any wrecks tonight. If I was Wingo, that would be my plan. Right now, Eric White leads off of 4 for the moment. Middle lane should be getting a run off of 4 through the tri-oval. Side by side now with the 8. Merrick now trying to pull out just a little bit more at the line. The 60 will be credited with leading that lap. But right now, McCullough and Merrick now have led the most laps. They're tied at 3 for the moment. So you can already tell 2 of the drivers who plan to be there at the end. Granted, they don't have a mishap on pit road or get involved in a caution by any means. See Branch dipping out to that middle line is going to think of. Thought about it. Thought about trying to make that third line work. Nobody immediately jumped out with him. Sizemore ready to cover him if he did. Well, right now, if you're Steve Sizemore, you know, it's been a very rough summer. As far as HGR being aired on the Raging Idiot Racing Network, to say the least, it's been a very rough summer for Sizemore. Trying to break a winless streak. Been there so many times, he really has. The driver to 8 on that outside lane, second car behind Keith McCullough. Been there so many times. And something always happens. Well, you know, Sizemore's always a contender no matter where we go, no matter what track, what car. Always a threat in these money races. And right now, if I'm just a driver of the 8, I'm playing it safe. I'm playing safe, aiming for the money. Hell, just to finish this race, I will call it an achievement. And right now, Sizemore's doing that, running in 4th at the moment. See, Scott and Allen trying to make that third lane work. They grouped up pretty good until John Ward slipped back down to the middle, and now they're going to fall right back in line behind Michael Wingo. Going to be 31 to go whenever they get back to the start-finish line. Wingo jumps out of line again. Been a pretty clean start to the race so far. Well, again, really, Murray has not left the top spot. Eric White has had to work himself up into the position that he's in. But White not going away, Sizemore hanging around. You're already starting to see the drivers who plan on being at the end here at the front have already positioned themselves for the most part. Now, you do got somebody like John Ward who don't typically show up until the last 5-10 laps of a race. You see Ward back there, about the 7th car on the bottom lane, red, yellow and blue, number 92, Bad Fast. Merritt now doing a great job really utilizing both lanes. What you got to do, really try to keep this middle and bottom at bay. The longer you can block it, the better off you're going to be. Here comes McCullough back to the outside. Give it to McCullough barely. See, 38 get into the 28. Thompson and Branch is really going to hurt the 28. As a matter of fact, Jason Branch going all the way just about to the back of this thing. Nobody jumping out to go with him. It's going to hurt the 28 a lot. You see him already. It's up around the top 5, and now they'll be lucky if he ain't seated even further back. 17th. I don't expect 28 to really forget that neither. If it comes down to it, we'll have to see. Right now, Jeff Merrick still out front, is leading his 8th lap of the race tonight. 13 completed, working lap 14, 29 to go. McCullough with another run to the outside. Merrick up the blocks, going to leave the bottom open for White with Barksdale. Sizemore fills that gap between Barksdale and Thompson now. McCullough trying to push the 60 back out into the lead so he can get clear on both lines. Right now, Eric White thinks otherwise. All right, now side by side off of 4 again. And at the line, Merrick starting to go break the record. 9 laps led, trying to make up for last night, barely losing out to Joshua McCullough, ironically getting pushed by Joshua's dad's Kevin McCullough down the back straightaway. But really, 15 laps at some point feels going to be a factor here, probably 20, 25 laps he's going to run. We're already at 14. Pretty much anticipating this to be a one-stop event. And compared to a little bit earlier on, it really settled down into more of a 2x2. As I say that, Allen, yellow and purple, number 23, trying to make something happen. Slingshots around John Ward, trying to get up to the field. Right now, as quickly as the run dissipated, it's still alive, as a matter of fact. I am very surprised. You see, really one car just be able to vault up there to the as high up as what he is already. Right on board with Joseph Allen, Joseph Allen, whichever one he wants to go by. Well, you see Wingo saw it coming, and now the 23 going to push to 25, a little off-centered, but no harm, no foul to keep it straight immediately back to the middle lane. Well, what a great run. Oh, there they go! Rhett Tucker gets through it. Hard to believe nobody have not spun yet. Still trying to see. Michael Wingo, massive damage, seeing a meatball flag on the 25. One fast repair already coming up with 26 to go and under our first caution. Man, if you ain't first or last, if you got bad luck, you ain't got no luck. Let's look at it and see what happens. I know it's going to start with the 99. Somebody's going to get turned. You see the 25 Wingo out to drive for a moment. Looks like Von Dell gets tapped from behind. Nothing the 25 can do. Back up and look at it from Mark Von Dell's perspective here. I think it's a bad push from the 2, perhaps. We'll look at it here in slow motion. Yeah, it just gets a bad tap from the 2. Off-centered and going into a corner. Never a bad combination. Carl Engel's going to get a piece of this, but the 99 of Tucker hard into the wall. Taking Wingo, winning, and Von Dell. Joey Masavage. All the way to the apron to 64. Barely does get through a wrecking 99 coming down the track. Unfortunately, back live. Going to catch a green flag pit stops as they roll. See if some drivers take fewer tires. No, I doubt it. I'd just see, well, no. Drivers are taking tires, as a matter of fact. Eric White wins the race off of pit road. Jessica Childs in second, Sizemore third. Merrick and Barksdale will be in top 5. See if we can get Mark Vondale's point of view. Mark Vondale, Garrett Jenkins up here in a bit. You got a copy, buddy?
How you doing, Garrett?
I'm doing good, buddy. I wanted to ask you real quick before we get going. Did you feel like it was just a bit of a bad push going into turn 1, or what was your perspective of what put us under caution here?
I think I actually was trying to go low. I was trying to split Lingo. And when I got next to him, I might have let off just a hair because he was coming down, and a guy behind me hit me and spun me. That's all I can figure.
Well, I ask you this quick question. Still playing racing with 24 to go, but a fast repair has already hadn't been used. Your only fast repair. How is this going to affect your race as far as trying to get to the front and avoid any more potential cautions?
Oh, I'll probably run. I'll probably run toward the back until maybe 5:10 to go.
All right, buddy. We look forward to seeing it. Right now, Mark Vondale got a lot of work to do in the 59 camp. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Eric Wright leads. Go ahead and run through the top 5. So you got White, Childs, Sizemore, Murray, and Barksdale. That's the top 5. Of course, Steve Sizemore, Eric Wright, Jeff Murray, Michael Barksdale all have been at the front. The majority of this race, Jeff Murray has led the most laps at 11 tonight out of the 18 already completed. Really, first time you've seen Jessica up at the front. At number 19, hanging around the top 10, top 7 a lot of tonight. Well, when they take the green, it's going to be 22 to go. You got to imagine this was right around that pit window here. Talk to our expert in fuel saving. John Ward, Garrett Jenkins up here in a bit. You got a quick copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, Garrett.
Well, bud, it's been a very quiet night for you right now. 23 to go. And some like you were thinking maybe this was just the right time for the caution to come out. Is it still a one-stop race, or do you feel like the majority of y'all has enough to get to you into regulation?
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna try to get to the front. Been riding in the back, and I'm gonna see if I can get up there. I got some help behind me and a fast repair, so we're gonna have a little fun here.
All right, buddy. Look forward to seeing it get done, but you are expecting at least one more pit stop to get through to the end here.
No, we're good on fuel. We're good. We were about to pit. That time by, we were coming to pit, and they had a yellow. So we're good on fuel. We can run about 27 laps, so we're good.
All right, buddy. I'll drop you back down. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
So you hear that? They're good on fuel to the end. Caution came at the perfect time. Right now, White leads them in turn 1. Jessica Childs now trying to pull them up on the outside lane, getting pushed by Murray, Lingo, Thompson. That's the top 4 on the outside lane. Matter of fact, Joseph Allen's trying to make himself known, 5th car up there. On the bottom lane, you got White, you got Sizemore, Barksdale. Got that 91 of Nathan up there as well. And then, of course, the 99 just involved in our first caution, Rhett Tucker. That's pretty much the top 10 as they run. Right now at the line, Jessica trying to lead her first laps tonight. And she will officially get it. But you got to think Burton now biting at the bits, really wants to try to cycle out this 19 if he can. Or hell, he might even just want to push her for right now. Well, Fuel's out the window. You see McCullough trying to come from the back. How about Thompson and Allen now making that third line work? You heard Ward said. You heard Ward said Fuel's no longer an option. Everybody's going to be going for it here. 3 wide already for about the 4th or 5th row. Jeff Merritt will jump up to that third lane with Thompson, Allen, McCullough, and Scott. Three by three, a recipe for disaster in the moment one car gets turned sideways, 20 to go. Down back straightaway, Merrick still leading, barely. For the moment, Sizemore now in a position to try to lead some more laps. So is White. 3 by 3, no lane can really get over the other one. Merrick now to the middle lane. The more that third lane loses cars, the more it's going to be difficult for them to get back up to the front. Thompson now really trying everything he can to pull this third lane consistent of Allen and McCullough. Right now at the line, Merrick leads. Barely able to get, was actually barely able to lead that lap time. It was so close between the 60 and the 8. Right now, Thompson trying to hang strong with that, with only 3 cars working that middle lane. You see the 6'4" Joey now will jump up to the third lane and try to aid this third lane as best he can. The more cars in that top lane, the better off they'll be. You see the 2 from Landry now trying to make something happen. Well, it'll be 3 by 3 for a while. You see Allen off the wall a little big. Decent hit into the outside lane by the 23 as Jeff Merritt now up to the third lane, try to cover it again. Heavy side drafting on Sizemore, almost a wreck. Just a little bit of contact. Everybody trying to keep that middle line at bay. You had to pick a lane. I would rather be in that middle lane just because we know that the third lane will fall off. The more they lose cars, the more that third lane will slip further back. You can make the bottom work on entry, but off exit, really nothing you can do on the bottom but ride and hope that the middle lane does not get a run. Right now, the majority of cars are going to that middle lane, being led by Murray and Sizemore. Jessica Childs slipped back to 7th after restarting in 2nd. Another driver having a very quiet night, Carl Lingo in that 34th car in the middle as well, gold and silver. Last Coral Racing Camp. So right now, I see Thompson still trying to make that middle lane work as quickly as they build up cars, they go. There you see Merritt now all the way to the bottom. How about Thompson slamming the door on Sizemore? Aubrey Thompson's not let a lap so far tonight with 16 to go at the line. The 38 trying to get back out front. Just goes to show how strong that 60 is. No matter where he puts that car, able to come up and clear Thompson. Leaves the 8 at the bottom, but he knows that he'll be able to get a massive run off of 2. So really, I don't think Merritt's really worried about that bottom lane. And Sizemore drops down into the bottom lane behind Barksdale. Still a little bit of giving, but not a whole lot. Some drivers going ahead and taking, well, with 16 to go, be 15 whenever to get back to the line, expect people to slam doors on each other, cut off lines. Eventually, it's going to culminate into the big one here at some point. See McCullough trying to form up that middle lane again, trying to get up there to the 20, to the 23 and the 64 to try to get that third lane rolling again. Not sure what happened to Kenny or Kenneth under that pit stop. But he went from about third or fourth to immediately into the pack now and try to make up for it ever since the restart with 15 to go. And it's starting to get more and more dicey. See Barstow still trying to get up there to lead a little bit here. Well, I'm just impressed by just about every driver tonight. 3x3 off of 4 again. Here comes the Savage with Keth McCullough now. Well, Joey can get clear, and this outside lane is going to go immediately to the bottom. Well, if you can get to the bottom, then you can at least protect the middle, you see. Well, he wanted to get to the bottom, but had to settle for the middle. Native White already had it covered on the bottom lane, but if I'm Joey, I'm exactly where I want to be. I want to be in this middle lane. Want to utilize the run almost up into the 03 of McCullough. Down the back straightaway. Oh, almost gets slammed by the 3. McCullough down from the top floor to the bottom floor. McCullough out front again. Well, he's came from the depths of 19th, 18th in the span of 2 laps back up there to the front and leading. If you want to consider this last charge. Matthew. That 3 of Matthew getting pushed on by John Warner Savage this time. And he'll lead it. Warner Savage now trying to keep that middle lane in tow. Behind him, Murray jumps up to the 3rd lane. Gonna try to make something happen. Well, we know that 60 car's been strong. Been on a roll the last month here. That is a bad, fast number 60. Well, it's really showing. He's led 14 laps tonight. We know he's able to really pull. He's really able to pull just about any line he jumps up with. Now, with less cars, however, he's got to pull that 3rd lane back up to the front. The more cars he can get up there, the better off he is. Oh, he's going to get slammed. There they go. John Ward spinning. He's got massive damage. The 60's involved, of course. The 3 of Matthew Patton. God almighty. Well, I'll start out bleeding 64. Joey Savage comes up, completely slams the 6 into the wall. Let a look at it here. Massive damage to the car that's dominated tonight. Let's look at it and see how all this unfolds. So White's going to get into 64 and massive impact. Massive. Want to look at it again here. Want to look at it, really see why the 8 does come up the way he does, but just that, well, there's contact between Thompson and Barksdale and them right here. Gonna slow it down. Hard to say, really. The 8 does come up, that's for sure. Unfortunately, it's going to shoot the 64 right up into the 60, and then from there, just going to collect everybody in that outside lane. Jason Branch, surprised he don't get more damage to what he's got. Ward ought to be fine. Ward's really fighting to save it. You look at the top of the screen, he'll make contact with Mark Vondell. Good Lord. The dominant car tonight, Jeff Murrick involved. He's still out on the racetrack trying to get caught up. One fast repair already used, and with 11 to go, it's going to be very difficult for the 60 to get back up there to the lead. Let's see who's been. Kenneth McCullough, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. Got a quick copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, buddy, it's been a long fight back to the top since the first pit stop. I want to ask you, does the 03 have what it takes tonight to get the job done again?
Yeah, I think so. Track's slick, but it's fun to drive. That's for sure. Little hairy.
All right. Well, pretty much the dominant car of the race just got involved in this last caution. Do you feel like this opens the door for you or several other drivers with the 60 of Jeff Murray now having to come all the way from the back to the front? Does it open the door for anybody? And if so, who are you most worried about right now?
I don't really know. Yeah, Merck's a real strong competitor. He'll be back up here. We got too many laps to go. He'll be back up here for sure. I don't know. It's been really fun racing up front here. Anybody can win these races these days.
All right, buddy. A little bit of history on the line, trying to become the McCullough duo to win back-to-back nights here. Best of luck to you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Of course, Joshua McCullough last night knocking off Jeff Murrick, as a matter of fact, right at the line to win. Well, as he says, still a lot of laps to go. It might be a little premature in counting out the 6 or the 60 of Murray. Does not matter. Well, of course, first ever MMS race that I did, Austin Green came from 19th to 1st in 3 laps. So they would get the victory that night. Well, to rewrite the top 5, Kenneth McCullough, Michael Barksdale, the pole sitter. Running in second, Joey Misavage, Aubrey Thompson, and Steve Sizemore, who has had a very quiet night, but has been at the front the majority of the night. Of course, everybody in this top 5 hungry for a win. Drivers who have won numerous money races here. A lot of history has been made just by this top 5, but if you got to think about Steve Sizemore, the summer stretch has been rough. I know we hounded every week, but a night that Steve Sizemore does return to victory lane, it's going to be a night to celebrate, really. Joey Misavage trying to return to victory lane. McCullough. Thompson have not heard nothing of Aubrey Thompson in a while. That WeatherTech 38. Trying to make a hell of a return back to victory lane and back to HGR tonight. Of course, HGR on tap tomorrow night, along with BDS as well. A little bit of a Friday night restrictor plate racing, money racing combo to start the weekend off right. But of course, where HGR is more of a private ran series, BDS open to anybody. Pro drivers, anybody alike. McCullough and Barksdale brings them down. We'll worry about all that tomorrow night. Going to be 8 to go at the line. Barstow now trying to generate the run on the outside lane. Both lanes pretty evenly connected. The only issue for this top side is, well, as I'm about to say, to get the run anyway, but really the weakest part for that middle lane is on a restart when they ain't built up to speed. You see Barstow clear right now, but then he's committed to the 38 of Thompson with Allen in tow. Jessica Childs, Carl Lingo, that's the top 5 on the outside lane right now. McCullough, Savage, Sizemore, Nathan, and Michael Wingo trying to pull that middle lane. You see Barstow down to cover the 3 of McCullough. At the line, Michael Barstow officially leads his first laps tonight. It's been a very solid night for the 98. A much needed, really it's been a much needed solid run for Michael Barksdale. Talk about drivers had an up and down night. Mark Mondale, you see him. That car in the middle lane, the Kansas City Chiefs, number 59, trying to rally back up to the front. Another one who was at the front and then got involved in a caution, now trying to recover. John Ward, that 92, immediately drops back to the middle lane. Brett Tucker now trying to make that third lane work. Here comes the 99 with the 59 of Vondale. Getting tight, boys. Going to be 5 to go whenever they come back to the line. Gloves are off now. On take. Let's definitely not good. There they go. They almost wreck it. There goes Barksdale. There goes the field. Steve Sizemore is involved in it again. Kevin McCullough, massive damage. All these drivers meatball flag. Massive damage to the 8 of Sizemore. McCullough, you look at that suspension. How it's wobbly. Something's definitely broken the left front. The pole center. Michael Barksdale. Joseph Allen was having a great night. He's stuck. You can look at that car and tell that car's done. It ain't going nowhere but on the back of the wrecker. And it is. McCullough gets it back to the pits. Heavy left front damage. Well, this is definitely the big one tonight in more ways than just one. Well, somebody's going to get slammed. There's going to be contact somewhere. Go look out here. You see Thompson gets his nose just about into the 03. For there, looks like just a bit of a bad push from the 8 to the 64. We'll have to look back at it and see. About the 2 of, how about Thompson locking it down, keeping it straight. Let's actually go back and look for the 8 before we call anything a bad push or whatnot. You see Thompson, he's going to get right to the left rear of McCullough. That's going to send McCullough up the track a little bit. They keep it straight. There's no harm, there's no foul here. You see Barstow slides up a little bit, wants to. It's a slick track, cars all over the place. The 8 gets a run right as the 64 is trying to line back up to 98. And really, honestly, looking at this, more of a racing deal. I mean, the 64 is trying to stay stationary. Right whenever the 8 hits him, hard to really put on Sizemore. But from there, I mean, 64 does not come up. I think Kenny saves it. But right there, bam, that's what kills the left front of McCullough's car. You see the 2 nowhere to go. Right on board Michael Barksdale through this. Look out in the back and see what Barksdale sees. If I wouldn't have had no clue, but he's going to spin, make massive damage to the inside wall. We saw his view of things. We'll go on board with Steve Sizemore. See exactly what the 8 saw, and we're going to back it up extremely fast. just heard say Sizemore thinking he's going to make it. He's going to get slammed hard and good. God almighty. Damn. You see, that's what ends Sizemore's great run up to that point. We're going to take one more look, this time off the nose of Joey Allen through this. Really just helped this feeling. You see them all wrecking. You're trying to figure out, well, how am I going to get around this? How am I going to get through this? And unfortunately for a lot of drivers at the front, the majority of the night, some have just worked themselves into a position, but unfortunately the night's either done or just got a lot harder as far as getting the win and cashing out. You see Allen still in the pits. As a whole new top 5 into this whole deal. See, now I want to see Nathan up there in the mix. How about Michael Wingo involved in a caution earlier? He's already used his fast repair. It's been an extremely quiet night for Wingo. But now up here in the top 2. Joey Savage as well. You got in the 99 of Rut Tucker. Mark Vondell's back into this. Well, don't look now. You want to talk about people that's back into this. How about that 6 of Jeff Murray in 6 right now? Left 14 laps so far. Of course, got sent up the track in that first incident. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, this will be a natural green white checkered. However, you get 3 attempts. The third attempt, they let them race back to the line, forget about the pace car and whatnot. It will end under green. Nope. Well, if it takes all 3 attempts to get this race done, that's what it'll take right now. This will not be an overtime attempt. Natural green, white checkered. Going to be 2 to go there to get to the line. Nathan, Wingo, Tucker, the Savage, Vondell, the top 5. And we're rolling. Wingo, not a great start on the outside lane. No, that's going to allow Tucker to immediately jump up. Right now, he's either going to push the 91 or going to try to use the outside lane. When you see the outside lane really tried to close up, and then they got back forward up. Michael Wingo trying to make up the ground now. Heavy side drive in front of 25. He's going to see his 60 Merce going to get to the back bumper of Wingo. Really, this whole field strung out on this restart. Nobody's really as organized. Well, as I do, that really hurts the bottom. Or no, it hurts the middle line. My apologies, got it backwards here. But you see now White and Ward up to the middle lane. Carl Ingles trying to get it. Gets sucked up to the back bumper to 92. See a lot of hell coming on the bottom lane though. If they do not wreck right now. Nope, it's official. Whatever happens, happens. A white flag and a 91 of Nathan now leading on the turn on 1. Here comes Michael Wingo on the outside lane. Jeff Burke trying to make something happen in the 60. White behind him. How about Rut Tucker in the 99 on the bottom lane? Right now, anybody's race down the back straightaway. This is what Michael Wingo wants. However, the run not big enough yet. Look at Ward making a third lane. The 92's coming. Burke up to cover Ward. Wingo going to be stuck in the middle with Eric White. Oh, there goes Barksdale around. Thompson, Sizemore, and others. Wingo around. They're all wrecking behind them. Right now. Plus 14 spots from where he started, and Nathan's going to get the win. Oh, so close again. Who got it? 91 and Nathan. Jeff Murray second for the second straight night. Rhett Tucker, John Ward, Joey Masavage rounds out the top 5. Good God. Man, was it close. So close, it's going to take us a minute just to try to get the finish here on camera. But really, you see the run coming from the 60. But the best thing going to happen is going to try to get there. 99 Tucker's going to run him up. Ward fully committed to the back bumper of Merrick. And at the line, let's see if we can't get that. A little bit past, but we're not professional photographers by no means. Let me try to get that a little bit better. Well, for Jeff Murray, it is unfortunately for the second night in a row, just inches from winning. About as good as I'm going to be able to get it. Well, let's get into 91 here. If we can find him. While I wait for Nathan to get in here, we'll talk to Jeff Merritt real fast. Well, Jeff Merritt, Derek Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Garrett. What's up?
Well, I'll be damned. The exact same.
No, I was on the outside this time, not the inside. Yeah, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, I guess.
I can say that just for a fact. Looking at this, almost identical to last night. Did you feel like the push from Ward was going to be enough to maybe get you just in front of the 91 for the finish here, or did you feel like it was a little bit too late to really make anything happen?
We needed about another 50 yards, and I think we'd have had it. I think they were too connected on the inside. Me and Ward finally got together probably about the restart zone and finally got a real good run going to them. But, I mean, I'm watching the replay right now. I mean, I was almost to his front tire. So, yeah, we probably need another 50, 100 yards. We'd have had it. But I know Ward keyed up, said he was trying to get me there. But I'll take a P2 again tonight, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is it's just too close to call. I wanted to ask you, what was the mindset? How did the race shift for you after being involved in the second caution of the night, being sent up into the wall, unintentionally, of course? But at what point did you feel like the race was over? Did you feel like you still had a shot to get back up there to the front, obviously before they wrecked?
Yeah, I mean, I've always got confidence in myself that I'd be able to get back up there, but sometimes it has a lot to do with when you get the run, who's pushing, all that good stuff. Luck has something to do with it too. I mean, you just got to be able to go with the line at the right time, see if it happens. Really, I prefer being out front or pushing second in line. I know when we restarted, the 64 car was up in front of me, and his rear end of his car is just like beat all to piss. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to push that guy for nothing. And luckily, going into one, he jumped down, and then I think the 25 car jumped up. I was like, okay, I'd rather have him up there. 25 was running a little too high through the corners. I tried to key up and tell him he needed to run a little bit lower. And then I just happened to look up at the right time and saw Ward coming third line. I jumped up there, and as I did, they started wrecking. So I got as close to the wall as I could, and then Ward tried to push me to the wind, but we got, I think, 1-3. So we'll take it.
All right.
Or 2-3.
All right, buddy, real fast. You know the question coming up next. Or anybody want to thank friends, family, sponsors, etc. The floor is yours.
Yeah, my loving wife inside. I hope she's watching. You know, I try to win as many of these far as I can, but we'll take second place 2 nights in a row over here. That's still a pretty good payday. NBG Motorsports, all my teammates over at NBG, Catch Fence, all the guys over there on Friday nights I run with. You guys up in the booth, you always do. I always look forward to going back watching the broadcast. Jimmy Crow for putting this on. The McCullough boys for letting me run with them tonight. We had pretty good fun time running down there joking around, kicking shit around. It's kind of fun. So I always look forward to running with these guys over here. It's always pretty clean racing. And Virtual Talladega Super Speedway for letting us run. So on to the next one.
Yes, sir, buddy. But we know eventually finishing second is going to get old. First two may be okay, but about third time, I'd be like, okay, getting old now.
Enough's enough. Yeah, for sure.
And for the second night in a row, Jeff Murray had to settle for second by inches again. Appreciate your time, buddy.
All right, man. See you.
Speaking of which, the man that he will have to finish second to tonight, join us in the booth. Nathan, you got a copy, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, buddy, I mean, in dramatic fashion, might I add, able to sneak away with the win here. I want to ask you, did you feel like you were a sitting duck coming off a 4, seeing the gap that you and Tucker had, and at what point did you realize I got to defend everything coming?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I knew Rhett had my back, though. He gave me a good push, and we ended up getting the win. It was pretty close, though. Jeff was right there. I had to give him the old door a little bit.
I'd say so. Say so. A whole lot closer than you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Can't say that. But, buddy, I mean, it was a very quiet night for you. The biggest mover of the night, up 14 spots from where you started. I want to ask you just right from the get-go, saw a little 3-wide action, saw a lot of saving. At what point did you realize it was now time to start making my way to the front before they all started wrecking with a handful?
It was about the last 15 laps or so, and then there was one wreck where I went down to the inside on the back stretch and ended up getting the lead, which was crazy. But we just took it from there. Red ended up, close behind me and gave me the push to the win. It was pretty awesome. That's my boy. He got the entry for me as well, so I have to pay him back now.
Well, crap. He ain't gonna be able to keep all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just enough to enter another one.
That's all right. Yeah.
Well, buddy,
we'll be back for sure. This was great. I believe Rhett just won. I don't know, recently. So it's good that RTR boys are up on top.
Well, buddy, I believe it was the first time I'm interviewing you tonight. So first off, pleasure to meet you. Hell of a job tonight.
You too. Thank you.
I do give everybody the opportunity, friends, family, sponsors, etc. Our race is a whole lot bigger than whatever I gave it credit for whenever I started getting into this broadcast and stuff. So if there's anybody you want to shout out, the floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, I'll shout out RTR Racing. Thanks, Red Tugger, for the push and the entry, and my family. They all watch me win, so that's cool as well. And thanks for putting on the race and the broadcast. I appreciate it. It's been fun. It was a good, clean race, which don't come by very often, I've come to find out.
Well, you'll see it more times out of 10. This HGR group, they're a good set of boys trying to keep it as clean as possible. Jimmy Crow runs a tight ship, and of course,
yeah, Jimmy's awesome, man. He was giving them hell during the race, so thank you, Jimmy.
I have no doubt.
Appreciate you putting it on.
I have no doubt. All right, buddy. Nathan's your winner tonight. He's going to take a little extra money in his pocket. Yeah, appreciate your time, buddy. Hopefully the first of many.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night. Sorry. Damn, I cut him off. Unfortunately, third or fourth will not be available for an interview. They've already left the Discord. Well, that being said, we're going to go to the race results tonight after 42 laps. Even closer than last night. Last night's gap, 25 hundredths of a second. Tonight, the distance, 17 hundredths of a second. How about the top four within a tenth of each other? And Nathan will come out on top, gain the most spots before he started up 14. He'll walk away to winner tonight. Jeff Murray has to settle for second again at a very close margin. Rhett Tucker third, John Ward in fourth, Joey Masavage in fifth, Mark Vondell sixth, William H. Scott Jr. seventh, Matthew Patton in eighth, Brody Landry in ninth. Carl Lingle rounds out the top 10. Jason Branch had a great night going, but once Carnage started to unfold, the 28 never got back up to the front. Jessica Childs has to settle for 12th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. An up and down night for the 03 for MMS. It will not end the way McCullough wanted it. Down in 13th, Michael Wingo 14th, Aubrey Thompson 15th. The pole sitter, Michael Barksdale, a great run for a 98 until the last caution, and that was all she wrote for the 98's hopes of returning to victory lane tonight. Eric White will have to settle for 17th, and Steve Sizemore, a quiet night. Unfortunately, not going to end the way the 8 wanted to. Then Joey Allen will round out the field in the 19th spot. Well, it was a great race. It was an awesome race from start to finish. Fair share of cautions, fair share of strategy at the end. The 91 of Nathan able to hold off the car that led the most laps, pretty much dominated this race by 17 hundredths of a second. HGR tomorrow night along with BDS racing as well, double header, possibly a triple header, don't know yet. Might work itself into the cards. But until then, I'm Garrett Jenkins. This has been the Raging Idiot Racing Network bringing you high gear racing. And for the second straight night, a photo finish to end the night. Anybody willing to make a bet that there'll be 3 nights in a row we'll get a finish just as or even closer? We'll have to wait and see. Until then, everybody have a good night, and I'll see each and every one of you tomorrow. Oh, and one last thing. If you can, like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it if we could, trying to get up to 500 likes. And then the last thing, August 17th, the first ever Bash at the Beach, Raging Idiot Racing Network bringing the super late models to Myrtle Beach. For questions about entry, either contact me, Jimmy Crow, or James Waring. You can send the entry fee to either James or Jimmy Crow. If you're not available to, come join us Sunday night, August 17th, for what should be a very awesome super late model race. And until tomorrow night, everybody have a good night.